welcome to this lesson. So finally we're going to be looking into hovers. So I already talked about hovers in the last lesson as well. So if you can see the finished output right here, so this is our finished output. As you can see here, I've selected it from my folder, and this is my live output, live preview. So that's why there is a IP address like this and then index.html. So this is my final output. If you can see here and hover over these canvases, you can see that there's a change in color. So when I hover over a canvas, the color of the background of the canvas changes from light yellow to something else, to a lighter blue color. And then if you can look at the button, it also changes color. It changes from light green to a much darker green. So these are called hover effects. Okay, so when you hover over an element, there's going to be some changes in the attributes of that element. That's called a hover effect. So we're going to specify this hover effect in this particular lesson. To do that, you need to give a different selector called a pseudo selector. So you're going to select the hover of a particular element. So to do that, you can use this particular syntax, element type, and then there's going to be this and then hover. Okay, or you can also do it like element ID. Before that you should add a pound sign. So pound sign element ID and then a colon and then hover, or it can be dot element class and then hover. And then obviously there's going to be two braces, okay, just like usual. So in this case, we are not going to use the last two types of hovers. We're just going to stick with the element type colon hover, because we just want to change the hover states for the canvas and the button and not elements with IDs or classes. Okay, so let's start with the canvas. Let me first select the canvas and then specify the hover state for it with a colon and then hover. And then I'm going to give it two braces. Okay, within that I'm going to change just one property, that is the background color. Okay, so the background color in the hover state of the canvas is going to be light blue. And here if you can go back to the canvas and see, the background color was actually light yellow. So when there is a hover, it's going to change from light yellow to light blue. Okay, but you don't have to stop here at all. If you don't want to, you can change a lot of other attributes of the canvas when there is a hover state. For example, you can change the font size, you can change color, alignment, make it bold or not bold. You can change the font family. You can do a lot of changes on a hover state, but I'm just going to stick to the background color because that's what I want. Okay, so it's all up to you. And then there's also going to be a button hover. So button, I'm going to select the button and then give a colon and then hover. So within that, I'm also going to give the same background. It's going to be green this time because we gave a background color of lime green before, which is a lighter green color, and this time it's going to be green, so it's darker. Okay, if you notice here, I typed out background and not background color like I've been doing so far, but it will produce the same result as well. Both of these will change the background color of an element to the color you're specifying. So both background color and background work the same. You can use either. So that's it for the CSS section. If you can save your output and let's take a look at our final output. Let's see if it, oh great, see, can you see here? There's a hover in each of our canvases and there's a hover in our button as well. So there's pretty much no difference between our final output and the app that we just created now. But there's just one major difference. That is, when you click on our app, nothing happens. There is no X or O drawn, and when you click on the new game, there is no refresh here. So the app does not work yet. It looks just like the final output we want, but it does not work yet. That's because we haven't created the JavaScript code yet to make each of these elements interactive and playable. So we can take care of that in the JavaScript module. Alright, so also before I end this module, I want to tell you that I love talking to my students. No matter how many times you want to ask me doubts, and no matter what you want to talk about, Okay, no question is a dumb question. I always love helping out my students and I always love talking to them. So feel free to reach out to me. Don't hesitate at all. And I also hope that you're coding along with me. And right now you have a final output like this. Okay, I really hope you're doing that because that's the best way to learn. Just staring at the screen will still help you learn, but if you code along with me, then you'll learn better and you'll come across problems and then you'll rectify them, and everything would be easily understandable if you actually code along with me. So I really hope you're doing that. Also, it's fun to do that, actually create something along with the lesson. So please do that.